What's up guys, this is What If This Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content, and I finally made the video on Krixi, the video that I tried so long to find some suitable content for you guys. And without further ado, I want to show you the build immediately because the video is going to be quite long. It was quite a game. So this is the build, nothing too spectacular here. We're going on a really fast Tome of the Reaper, and then we've got the basic items in there with the diadem, with the Mark of the Frost, and I'm going to use the enchanted Krixi because I just realized that the damage output of Krixi is not the damage output that it was a couple of months ago. At least that was what I was experiencing when I was playing Krixi these days. Arcana wise, I went with the mage damage build. As you can see, we've got a lot of ability power and some magic pierce, as well as some lifesteal and cooldown speed. The build is no surprise. It contains of 10 times Violate level 3, 10 times Devour level 3, and 10 times Hex level 3. And I've tried something new in the enchantment section. I know this is not the max damage build, but I want to have the items faster, so I was focusing on Alchemy. And as you can see, we've got Mark of the Frost in here, as well as Gunstinger to boost our stats a little bit. We've got mana refill because we're going to spam our abilities a lot, and I wanted to get at least some percentage increasing my ability power by 8% from the blessing with Veda. So this is the build, and I would say let's hop right into the gameplay and check out what I was doing there. Okay, welcome to the game. As you can see, I started off with the boots, and what you guys haven't seen but what we know from the loading screen is that the enemy team has two junglers. They've got Tulin and they've got Butterfly, who both have the jungle talent, and we have Azankar in the middle, because if that would not have been the case, it could have been that that Tulin would have gone into the middle lane and take the talent just to get blue buff faster, for example. But in this case, it was true that Tulin wasn't going mid lane, but we're going to face Azankar. And as you can see, we know that a lane is fighting against what's his name? Tachi? Is it Tachi? I haven't played the game in several days, so I forgot basically everything about it. I guess it's Tachi. So yes, this is the information that we have so far, and I just experienced Azankar to be so strong lately. I don't know if it's just because of my really bad mechanics. As you can see, I'm not really hitting a thing, but Azankar has increased quite a bit. Or is it just me? I have the feeling that he has become a lot stronger. Well. So, game is going to be quite kill heavy. At least that's what I can kind of spoil. And we have Murad in the jungle. Not the strongest jungler these days. I think he's just a one-trick pony, and he's not considered to be super good. I mean, he does some damage. He's got an ultimate where he becomes invincible, but it's just, I think his crazy days are over. I don't think that he is as good as he was when he was introduced, because I think a lot of people already know how to deal with him, which is basically clear the jungle camps right next to important points such as the river. And well, I don't really feel that he is strong, but let's see if this is true for this game, because of course a lot is about the player skill. It's not only about meta things. So I went in with a straight first blood on Butterfly. I think that was worth it. And we have the retaliation on the bottom lane with our people getting killed by Tulin. So Tulin has already got one kill, and there have been 2 other kills on my team. So while I was going first blood, things went on pretty quickly, I guess. So not 4 full minutes played, and there have already been 4 deaths on both sides in total. And yeah, I was roaming around a little bit, trying to support my team here. And basically, like, we've got the full functioning matchup. Like, we've got Telenas, we've got Lumbur, so we've got real support. They've got Valheim, they've got Tulun, who is playing against both of them solo. Super strange. I didn't really pay that much attention to the whole composition thing when we were in the game, so I thought, like, okay, this should be easy. Okay, Tulun's got the mobility, but we've got Telenas, who's got a crazy range, so even if he dashes once, he will be able to do his trick just once and then he's dead. And this was super lucky. Like, thanks to the enchantment Mark of the Frost, I was able to get here out of life, but that was so lucky, and I was really thankful that it turned out the way it went. So 2 kills on my team, both are my kills. Tulun has already finished his jungle item, which is not a good thing. And from my perspective, things were still looking okay. So 3 kills right now. Butterfly is dead, so 4 kills. And now we have turned the tide of the battle into a double kill on Murad, which is always nice and always welcome. You want your jungler to be fed, because that just means that he can dish out more damage. More kills means more gold, means more items, means more damage. So this is kind of like a calculation which is always right, no matter who you are playing. So I had the feeling, because we were coordinated in the Discord, the Murad, Lumbur and I had the feeling that we had the battle under control at this point of the game. At least for the moment. So Natachi is killed, which is not a good thing. But meanwhile, we were able to get the Abyssal Dragon, which is of course a good thing to do, because it means that all of our team will get the experience points. And as you can see, Tulun has really been improving his stats, because he was playing alone against our bottom lane. So he's already on level 9. And as you can see, our jungler is level 8. So there's 1 level gap in between. It doesn't matter that much, but still, it is something that you should always keep in mind. And I have to admit, I didn't pay that much attention to it. Like, when I'm looking at the replay right now, I can read the signs, but at this state of the game, I was like, okay, we are leading this game. 9 kills total against 4. I've got 2 kills and 1 assist, so I'm doing quite well at the moment. And we have been managing to get 2 towers from the enemy, and they haven't got a single tower from my team. So things were looking quite bright. Butterfly seems to not really know what she's doing. And I think still at that point, I had the feeling that the Butterfly player was their main jungler, and he or she has the kind of like the strategy up their sleeve. So it's like that would be the player who is going to get the ganks and who's going to be defensive if they need to be defending stuff, and who would go offensive if they would be able to get towers or something like that. So that was, at least that was what I was thinking at this point of the game. And as you can see, we don't really have a hard time fighting her. Like, she's under-leveled right now. Still, Elaine is giving us a rough time. And oh my goodness, that damage from that Tulun was huge. I didn't expect the ultimate to deal so much damage. So I was a little bit surprised here. And crazy thing, the audio is working again. So you guys should be able to listen to some in-game music, which has been missing for, I think, the last 5 or 6 videos. And to be honest, I didn't change anything about the settings. So everything is as it always has been. But sometimes it's just a case that the audio is going well, and sometimes it's not even there at all. So I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs. And now we've got big lag issues. I don't know where this comes from, because again, I didn't change anything about the system. but you guys have to bear with me. I hope it's going to be a little bit better soonish, because otherwise I'm just going to skip for about 2 minutes or something like that, and then we might be able to get rid of that lag spike. And let me do it right now. Let's just skip a couple of seconds. Here we go. Another defeat for me, double kill for me here, and game is looking smoother, I guess. Okay, I guess it's fine to skip a little bit, because as I said, the video is quite long. You might have already seen it in the video description and stuff like that, so I think we can skip from time to time, just in order to make the things a little bit more convenient for you viewers out there. So the game is going back and forth. Again, the enemy is not having the best time of their lives in terms of wrecking down towers. So as you can see, the status right now is that they've got 1 tower, and we have continued our work on their towers. So as you can see, am I going to take that screen back? Elaine is the best player in their team. Butterfly is really low with 0-5. Tulan has 4-2 right now, so he's the gold leader, but then in terms of kills, he's not a match for us. So I was feeling that Elaine was basically the strongest player on the field in terms of the enemy composition, but right now Tulan is going towards our tower, and he is about to get damage to that tower. I decided to fight against the Butterfly, because Tulan and Telenas, that should be no match at all. Okay, here we go. It's a match for him. I get another kill. So the combination with the ultimate and the knockup is pretty crazy. And oh my goodness, what happened right now? So Tulan was not only being able to get the tower, but he killed Telenas and Lumbur in one single attempt. And now he is sitting on 7-2. So he's basically even. I think gold-wise he should be even better than I am at this point of the game, because now they've got the second Abyssal Dragon. So I'm sitting on 1K, and he's got already 9,000 gold. So again, this wasn't the point of the game where I think I had all this information cramped together in my mind. I think I still had the feeling that things were looking quite good for us, because as you can see, we still have a lot of towers. We've got a functioning team composition. I think I was still on the track that I was like, okay, well, their jungler isn't too good. But more and more, it kind of becomes clear that their Tulan is basically their carry. And he is super dangerous because he's got the movement advantage. Like, he's got a higher mobility than I do. He has the same damage output, if not a slightly bit better than I do. And with Azankar and Valheim, they've got good sources of crowd control. So, and this is something that shouldn't happen at this point of the game. Like, no crazy peaks. And again, this is going to be super nuts. Okay, we do get him. So I'm able to finish him off using basically all of my spells and my ultimate, but that's fine. We just need to have him dead. But now there is Azankar, who still has a tiny bit of life. And we've got a full health Elaine, who is super dangerous. He's a level ahead. And he is able to get us with the ultimate. And if we have the situation that I am going along with Lumbo, for example, he will deal even more damage, because his ult is going to increase when he gets more people into this kind of template that he's using to determine where the damage is dealt. So bad situation. We do get the butterfly, but as I said, she's not really something that is determined to change the tide of the battle, because the most important and the most threatening things in this game are Tulan on the one hand and Elaine on the other hand. So these are the guys that we need to deal with, and then they've got the CC machine, Azankar, and then they've got Valheim, who's able to dish out some CC stuff as well. So pretty nasty team composition, and yeah, things like that should not happen. As I said, this was poorly played by me, but we might get the advantage that we are going to get the Abyssal Dragon here, which is happening right now. But now we've got a super mobile champion, which is Murad, and they've got a super mobile champion who is Tulun, but I think they've got the better tools to deal the damage, because Tulun is not... He's basically a one-trick pony, but his trick is a little bit better than the trick that Murad is able to pull off. So I had a bad feeling about this. I had a really bad feeling about this because with the stuff that I'm bringing to the table, I had the feeling that it would take a lot of tricks to get both Elaine and Tulun at the same time in one single attempt or one single shot. So fingers crossed, we have been killing Elaine right now, but as you can see, I think our team coordination isn't the best, so we should basically focus on one target and try to get that target and get into the range of the enemies. And this worked out fine because everyone was grouping together, but now we're super low, so even the not so good butterfly would have been enough to kill both me and Telenas with one spell eventually. Oh, she's dead. Well, fair enough. So we're just waiting for our chance to get into the tower, and as you can see, this is not working. I think we made a mistake here. Lumbo should have come back and tried to help me to get rid of Elaine, but instead we were splitting. I was jumping in another direction. Our communication wasn't good at that point, so we were both making mistakes. Like, I wasn't asking for help and he wasn't really paying that much attention what Elaine was doing. I think because he doesn't know all the newer characters, because he doesn't play the game so often, our Lumbo player, he was still not aware of the fact that Elaine would be so mobile and deadly at the same time. So yes, bad communication leads to a death for him and me as well. So it's time for us to do something clever, and I don't know if taking the Abyssal Dragon at this point is the cleverest move that you could come up with right now, because there is Valheim in the middle. Elaine is roaming down, as we've just seen on the minimap, and now we are already... Okay, I'm going to take the Dark Blessing here. That's fine, but look at the damage. That's just crazy. It's just crazy. That was just one shot and I was getting rid of 3 bars of my health. And while we were attacking the Abyssal Dragon, they have been able to get the Dark Slayer. My goodness. I was just saying, okay, things like that should not happen, and it happened to me. That was a really mean camping action from Azankar, but I could have just guessed that this is about to happen, as he has been doing this again. So that wasn't really good. So the game is going to continue and to continue and to continue, and I guess I'm going to skip a little bit of that, because as you can see right now, like what is the situation right now? We are in a total defense state. So they're pressing in with the Dark Slayer Dragon, and we are just trying to defend our base of not getting torn apart by their combined forces. I need to be super careful. I still got the butterfly on this. We do get the Valheim, but now we are facing Azankar, Tulun and Elaine, who are basically their core setup. At least that's what I would say. And yeah, I'm going to let the game just continue, because it's just about another 2 or 3 minutes that we're going to see this, and then I think we can go into the post-game stats, because the situation is as follows. Either we are going to make a smart move, get rid of at least Elaine and Tulun, and then Azankar would need to pull back, or any other character. But from that triangle, we need to get rid of at least 2 components, and then we would be able to get into the full retaliation mode and just push through the middle lane as fast as possible. That's like the one option. Or the other option is we get killed while we're trying to defend this, because as you can see, a lot of poke and damage is incoming, so we do get a lot of side damage, which is basically not determined to be the damage, especially for us. But as you can see, with this crazy ultimate, it's kind of easy for Tulun to just get those remnants of the little health bars that we got left, because it's basically just on target hits. He doesn't have to do anything. He just needs to stand next to us and he can just dish out constant amounts of damage whenever he procs the passive. And from my perspective, it felt like this Tulun player knew what he was doing, or what she was doing. So little to no chances here to get them. I mean, as I said, Butterfly is not really something that we had to deal with. She was basically dealing with herself most of the times, but the rest of the team, of the enemy team, was strong. They've got a really strong composition. In hindsight, at the beginning of the game, I was like, okay, this is going to be crazy. This is not going to be of any good idea for them. And now it's the final time to get right into the game, clear the minions in the middle lane, push into the towers, and focus on getting to the Nexus as fast as possible with the most damage output as possible. Because as you can see, we have still Tulun on cooldown for another 30 seconds. So we just need to deal with Elaine. He's going to come down right now, but we're going to put everything in, and this is, I think this moment is crucial. He killed me. We were on shutdown, but Murad is basically dead. So he needs to get back. Tachi needs to get back. Telenas is fighting her own fight on the bottom lane, not helping our team in order to get this push with the full force. So I think this was basically the one option that we could have gone with in order to kind of win this game. But now it seems like things are not going to be so bright. So I went in with the Holy of Holies because, I mean, that's, if you are lacking damage, this is the stuff that you come up with. It's the item, magic wise, that deals most of the damage in this game, in this entire game. And as you can see right now, the fight at the Abyssal Dragon, I don't know why we picked up this fight. It's just nonsense to split at this point, because we had a hard time fighting against the 5 of them when we were defending the base in the first few moments when they were standing at our gates, and now one tower is already down, and it's just going to be even more difficult to fight them. And now Darkslayer has been killed by Butterfly, so their minions will get the improved stats, their health regeneration will be better, so they've got everything they need to finish this game. Nexus is still unharmed. Here we go again. Tulun goes in, and I was basically throwing the game at this state, because I was just like thinking, okay, this is not going to be anything good. And yeah, here we go. They wiped the entire team, and now they go and finish the game. So sad enough, we did not win it. It was a defeat, and I think the first half of the game was dominated by us. And I think what we did wrong was to let Tulun do his thing, to get into this kind of funnel where he was going to get more and more gold, and he was starting to dominate the game with the help of Elaine and Azankar. And I think this really dangerous trio was what costed us the game in the end. And of course, a lot of misplays on our side, a lot of miscommunication, not really focusing on the important objectives was of course a mistake, and that's where you get defeats from. So Tachi's MVP. I did 1/3 of the total damage to enemy heroes. And yeah, this is the final set, 7-6. So I was second best player in this. And the enemy team wasn't strong either. Like, for example, if you take Valheim wasn't too great, but this is it. Like, this is... Tulin was dominating the game with 70% of fight participation. Yes, so this was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's game. If you want to see more of this, subscribe to the channel, and I hope that we are going to catch up later in 2 days when we are going to check something in German. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.